Good afternoon, nation. Welcome to the next edition of Sky Hoops Knicks Dreams. We're gonna ask you guys if you want to participate in the chat. You're more than welcome to drop any comments in the chat, and we'll, respond in kind. And if you want to be one of our panelists, I'll be dropping the link in there so that you can jump and join us. At this moment, I want to introduce my main man, Dream, in the house so that he can give us and kick off the show by giving us his take on the New Orleans Pelicans game against the Knicks. Take it away, Dream.
Appreciate it, and title this salute to Louisiana, the Big Easy win. So even though it wasn't an easy win, they call that place a Big Easy. So we'll go with that. We got our first adjustment right before the game started because we got that Noel scratch late. And so we kind of went into this like, oh, wow. So, we didn't know what to expect. But I'm proud of our guys. We put out a really strong effort again against, a team that was supposed to beat us up. They did beat us up a little bit inside, but it wasn't too bad. We're not being overwhelmed by this adjustment that we need to make. And it's good to see that. And our coaching staff has found a way to have our guys believe in themselves still, even though we had a couple guys go down. In the first, we came out of it tied. Randall got off to a hot start. But both teams, it was kind of like a feel-out process. So, tied at the end of the quarter. That was kind of nice to see that we was into it. Second unit comes out in the second quarter, gives it that spark again, Zion starts to assert himself, in that quarter, and we start to see a little bit of that where he brings the ball down full court type of thing, or they go right into an offensive set that goes to him as the first option. So, that was kind of nice. We absorbed that. But on our end, Pell showed that he had active hands. He was aware of the ball being passed around. I see 2.0, super proud. He might go get him an old Anthony Mason jersey out the closet. I don't know what's going to show up next. He's going to see 14 a shirt somewhere around there. So, I was happy for you, and I was happy for the Knicks in general to see that, they did find a body, an active body who seems to have his head screwed on properly when he's around the basket. There was a couple times he fumbled some passes, but I think that's just him gelling with some of the guys and, those random lobs around the basket. He's just not used to catching them from certain people, But outside of that, it was good to see. They came out with that, a +3 in that quarter, went into the half solid, came out. Both teams got loose in that third. It was like, offensive, up and down. I think at one point they said this kind of reminds me like a little all-star game. They're just like flowing around, like not that it was like a total lack of defense. There were some good defensive plays throughout, but it just like the flow of the offenses that both teams just picked up, and it ended up being like 40-37 or something like that. By the time that was over, in the fourth, we brought that D. That defense traveled with us. So we brought that D. We slapped them with it after going all bonkers with a couple of threes by Ingram and stuff like that, because I felt like it at one point it was Ingram versus anybody. You too? You want some of this? Boom. He was just, a very fluid kind of player. He reminds me of the purity of his shot reminds me of Melo in that sense. Like it just goes up real soft and drops right in there. It's really nice, smooth. So, outside of that, it was good to see that our bench showed up 8th straight game. That we won that bench matchup, and today and then in that game we won it by 20 points. I think it was, by exactly 20 points. So that was good. We needed that. We need every phase of our team to show up in every game because, like we've talked about in past shows, we're going into like a playoff type atmosphere in each game. So we have to show up and play our hardest. So with that being said, I'll leave some food on that plate. 2.0, take it away.
Thank you, and thank you for giving some props to, that man number 14.
Yeah.
He came in there. He had a dunk. He had a steal. He affected the game.
Yeah,
in a positive way. It wasn't many minutes per se, but he was in it. He was into it. He wasn't lost out there. He didn't hinder the offense, and he did okay on defense. So kudos to him. You said the bench, they came in there. I think they scored something like 40-something points to 70-something for the starters. Um, RJ did not have his best game. Okay, but again, like everything isn't about having to put up 25 points for him
Wait,
because
say that. Say that again.
we
Say
are.
that again.
It's not always about him putting up 25 points a game.
Okay, so you're
That was
saying
wrong.
that for the entire team, right? For every play on the team.
I'm saying that it's not. We're not depending on him scoring 25 points a game.
Okay, okay.
As
I'm,
long as
I'm
I can
messing with you, man. I'm messing with you, bro.
as
I'm
long
messing
as
with
I hear you, as long as I can get Bullocks and Burks in there, like I said, the killer bees, 2 out of 3 got to be hot. Basically, they all don't have to hit 25, but I need 20 plus or near 20 from at least 2 of them in every game. So everybody showed up. I look back at some things. Hey, may the force be with you, brother.
That's me and you, Henry.
Hey,
Oh man.
listen.
you. Sixth place, sixth place, sixth place.
Sixth place, 4 in a row,
Go ahead, take it away. Man.
and and what was that?
Slap.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Man,
I just want to
sorry,
say
go
one more
ahead. I'm
thing
sorry.
before I hand it over to you, Bill. Still in all, it's been erratic. Okay, I looked at it. It said we lost 3, we won 1, we lost 2, we won 4. So in the last 10 games, we're 5-5, and in the last 16 games, we 8-8. It's like, come on. I mean, it's okay to be 500, but like that, losing 3 in a row to then win 4 in a row. You can't be dependent upon that. I always said from the beginning, man, I would love to see it where we win 3 and lose 2 and win 2 and lose 1, but always win 1 more than we lose. Not go on these 3-game losing streak and then, So other than that, though, I'm scoreboard watching. What can I say? Every night it's a new experience. The Lakers disappointed me last night. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, they don't have that much right now. It's just, I hope they don't have that much the next time that we see them. We got a nice looking schedule ahead of us when it comes to that homestand. I'm hoping that we come out of it at least in the next 6 games, 4-2. Take it away, Bill.
Thank you. And good afternoon, my brothers.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
I didn't hear Dream's take, so forgive me if I say something that you already said.
Say what you gonna say, brother. You can't say it enough.
Franchise, 32-8. One of the killer bees, aka Mr. Bullock, 16. Taj, another solid game. 8 points, 10 boards. The Riddler. Wah, wah, wah.
When they having the old Batman things like
Mr. Barrett to you.
Peyton, solid. Peyton, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists in only 20 minutes. Solid. D Rose, solid. 11 points in 28 minutes. Boogie Bucket Bouncing Burks closed the show. 21 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. So basically,
salute.
We got solid efforts from the majority, and it was enough to hold down the Pelicans, although we still had to contend with the ones we were worried about. We were worried about Ingram and Zion, and they both put it on us a little bit, 28 and 25 respectively. But we held the other ones pretty much in check. Marshall had 14, and Johnson had 13, and Adams had 10 and 10, which I think based on if you're going on an eye test, I think our big men we did enough to slow them down in the meaningful moments of the game, and I think I would say Taj outplayed Adams. So with that, and our defense was basically on point. We won every quarter. except for the first. The first we tied, but we won every quarter, and we walked out of there with a 10-point win. And basically, that's all I have to offer at this moment. So I see the Prodigy came in the building,
Hmm.
and Prodigy. Let me ask you a question before I pass it to you. Do you
Yep.
have do you have WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay, so put your number in the chat
In the private chat.
in the private chat, so then I can add you to our group chat, so that during the games you can be involved if you want to.
That, but what's that? You don't want my phone number?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Your phone number.
Oh, my phone number? Okay.
Yeah, just put it in there, and then that way I'll be able to add you to the WhatsApp chat. That's what we chat during the games. And with that being said, while you're doing that, give us your take on the game the other night against the Pelicans.
I thought the ball movement was very good. I thought we did a good job containing Zion in the paint. Like I said, we had to force Zion to have a Giannis treatment to daring to shoot, and also I thought we double teamed Brandon Ingram, and I loved how we limit turnovers, and I loved how the ball movement was flowing. Alec Burks was big time, and I loved how Derrick Rose was attacking the rim at will, and I love how Julius Randle, his three ball was falling, putting a lot of arc in his shot, and and Norman Powell was clogging the paint, and we did a good job daring the other Pelicans to shoot the ball. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
So if you finish, you throw it up top to Santana.
Eagle, I'm gonna do a lob to Santana.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna come down like the Raymond, and I'm gonna grab it like this, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna strike a pose midair, and then I'm gonna jam that bad boy.
And then afterwards. All right. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Mic went out.
How about now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I like the way that they went out there and they really attacked the game. They didn't wait for the game to come to them. It was tight in the first quarter. Of course, it was back and forth, but they kept that intensity for the most part from beginning to end. And that's very important. So now it seems like they're starting to play again. They're playing in their pocket. You know what I mean? This is how we're expecting them to play and do so over 48 minutes every single game. And I think what's happening is now guys are looking to really, play to the best of their ability or play, you know, at their role, but
Hmm.
be the best in their role. So when you guys talked about Adams and Taj and or anyone else that was defending Adams, basically what they did was neutralize.
Hmm.
For
Yeah,
whatever
they did.
Adams gave, we gave back. So that neutralized them. Of course, Zion is going to do his thing. And even still, I felt that Randall matched up well against them. And
Mhm.
Randall, I think, is a bigger guy. So he put a little body on him as well. And then Brandon Ingram, he's a tremendous player. He's a tremendous talent. I do feel that they missed Alonzo. They really
They
missed
did.
Alonzo.
The
Because
offense is
Alonzo,
not.
yeah,
The offense
it's
wasn't
not as
crisp.
fluid. It's not as
Hmm.
fluid. You know what I'm saying? With
Hmm.
Lonzo, they just more run and gun. Yeah,
Hmm.
you may have Bledsoe that comes in and on the half court set something up, or Zion bringing it up the full court, but it's not the same dynamic as Alonzo Ball, and that benefit us. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? We'll see
Hmm.
what happens on Sunday. Most likely, Ball may play because he may be showcasing his skill set for the future.
For
But
us.
yeah, exactly. But that being said, I saw that dynamic play itself out. And then last but not least, yeah, Burks, he stepped up big time. The key
Hmm.
about Burks is that when he's on, he's pretty steady. You know what I mean? You don't feel that he's just gonna jack up
Right.
shots crazy and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Yes, we have a guy that can score, that can put, points in the bucket, but he's got to be on, and that's quickly. But what's going to happen is if Burks continue to play the way that he's playing, that's going to take away from Quickly's minutes. Yeah, Quickly will be spotted here. He'll be able to come in as a specialist, but those minutes are going to go over to Burks because he provides a more steady common influence.
Mhm.
And you seeing that he's, Tibbs is bringing him in the fourth quarter to kind of balance out the offense. So much so that even Barrett sat in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying the full fourth quarter, but he sat
But,
out
yeah.
during crunch time.
Right.
So, that's we got to look at that. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm just calling it based on what I'm seeing on the floor. Yes,
Mhm.
I know that quickly was called in to hit some free throws. Again, that's a specialist role. And that's going to, play itself out game to game based on what's happening on the floor. But when you look at Tibbs, he's looking for that consistency factor. And that's the key. And I think Burks provides that kind of, stabilizing force, or at least a complementary piece that's going to also contribute and put the team in a position to win. With that being said, I'm gonna do a Magic Johnson no look pass. I'm gonna go like this. Wait, let me see.
Mhm.
No, I'm gonna go like this. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it to my man Dream.
Dream.
Sweet.
Skyhook it, skyhook it, skyhook it. All right, Kareem, skyhook it. So, I'm gonna take these gloves off. I'm gonna put these gloves on, I should say, and we're gonna dig into these numbers a little bit.
Surgery. Go ahead. Surgery, brother.
97 shots, bro. I hate going over 90, but 97 shots normally is a problem for us. But last night we were making shots. So they hit 17 threes, and more importantly, they hit 51%. It wasn't like they shot 50 threes to hit 17. We got only like 33 of them up, so that was really nice. But those 97 shots, sometimes, that running gun third quarter, that I'm glad we shot well, because that would have shot us out of the game if we didn't shoot well. Third straight game that we held our opponents to single-digit three-pointers. But in doing that, there's a third straight game we got beat up inside. So we're giving up more points inside, and but limiting the threes outside. And that is something we called for all first half of the season. Take the abuse inside. Don't give up that three-point line. And finally, we're starting to actually see that, or actually it's playing out over the last three games, right? So that was good to see. So it's nice to see them trading twos for threes. And outside of that, we're winning. We're winning these games, but we're winning a whole bunch of quarters. And this is nice, because going all the way back to Memphis, besides that first quarter where they got us by a couple of points, we beat them 4 out of the next 5 quarters. Toronto, 3 out of 4 quarters. We only had 1 quarter against them where we didn't really show out. LA, 3 out of 4 quarters, and the one was a tie. And the same thing with yesterday. One was a tie. Oh, no, the LA one we were down 2 at the first quarter, but then we won the last 3. And this past game was a tie in the first, and we won the last 3. So we're trending in the right direction. So with that being said, I will soft toss it off. I see the man trailing 2.0. Take it away.
You're muted, H2O.
How about now?
You're good.
All right, thanks. I just want to piggyback on something that Santana said with regards to the rotations, and I am all in agreement, and I support 100% that the first 2 people off the bench need to be Derrick Rose and Alec Burks. Okay, no question whatsoever. Then when Knowles is playing, it's also Taj Gibson. And now we have an added, centerpiece, that, an added body.
Your man.
Body,
Your
okay,
man.
called Nobel Pell. My man. I'm going for that shirt soon.
Tuesday.
Okay. So, but I don't want to, compare one with the others. So I still feel that we still need to continue to develop Obi and quickly, and I'll allow them some minutes. I don't think they were ever meant to take major minutes in this year, because they just got drafted. And when I saw Burks those first 3 games, I just knew the man was finished product, and that he had to be the 6th man off the bench. There was no question about it. Of course, between Taj and him, depending on what they felt he needed, at the time, if there were 2 fouls on either Mitchell or Noel, and whatever the situation called for. But still, Taj and Rose and Burks, those are my next three, not necessarily in that order, but that's my 8. And the other guys, the Quicklies and the stuff, quickly all of a sudden just jumped us. And then you're like, whoa, where did this come from? Like, oh, and then, he was consistent and he's inconsistent. And then he was a little consistent again, but he was always consistent at the free throw line. So, like you said about the specialist situation, well, Thibs figured out, hey, if they're going to foul us, then I'm going to put my best foul shooters there in the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever that time was at the end of the game. And I noticed that. And I was really, it was nice to see. And because it keeps them in the flow. It keeps them in the rotation. It keeps them sort of like feeling like he's a part of, and when he came in, he shot those 2 threes in a row, man. And all of a sudden he kind of added a little enthusiasm to everybody else's, get a boost of energy. That's what those threes do for you, man. It's like, bam, and you don't have to go running around too much on offense, and you don't have to, and then you have the other team on their heels a little bit, or dropping their shoulders, or hanging their head, because those threes are demoralizing. And I guess that's part of what Dream was saying, that we fight it out inside in the trenches than them raining threes from out there, because, that opens up the middle. So if they're missing the threes or we are defending those threes, we are able to set that curtain. There was like an iron curtain out there against my man, what's his name, Zion, man. He couldn't do everything that he wanted to do. Because every time he tried to get back, there was another man going like,
Yeah.
And that was great strategy. Yeah. And hopefully we'll carry that into Sunday's game. I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're gonna see those guys again. And it's not gonna be too far from now. And did anybody say Lonzo's gonna play on that game?
We don't know.
Oh, we'll see.
Okay, because it would be nice not to see him in the uniform. Okay, because we could do more of the same, but with him on the court, it turns different. I don't know whatever happened to Bledsoe. I mean, there was a few years ago, man, when Dream was like, "Yo, we should go out and get Bledsoe," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, he seems to be a decent guy. He's doing okay over there with, I think he was with Milwaukee at the time, or he might have been with the Suns." But he didn't turn out to be the great player that we all saw in him back then. But so I'm glad we moved on, and I'm glad again. I think we're chatting during the game, and we were talking about Aldridge, and I'm glad we moved from him also, because right now we would have been in a deeper hole had we gone his direction. And sadly to say, it's not a great situation for him. But like I said in the chat, it's time to move on and live long and prosper.
Yeah. Stay safe, LA. Stay safe.
Take it away, Bill.
All right. I'm going to pick up something that you said with regard to those 3-pointers, something I was mentioning, I think Dreamer mentioned as well, and Santana. The fact that we shot over 50% from the 3-pointer line, that was good. However, we don't want that to be perceived as fool's gold and think that we're going to do that every game. The fact that we shot over 30 3-pointers, I that's just my opinion. I think that's a little too many. I'm cool with like 25. 25. I think that we're in good standings. But when we're hitting them, when you're hitting them, your confidence is up and you're going to keep shooting them, which I'm pretty sure the coach wants them to do. So we're going to have these games where we're shooting, over 30, 35 3-pointers. And that's the way of the game anyway. However, I made a pretty good observation with regard to rebounding. Now, they out-rebounded us by 1. However, we out-rebounded them on the offensive boards by 2.
Yeah.
So, that was pretty even. And they had more assists than we did. We had under 20 assists and still had that type of game that we had. And blocks were even. We had 5 blocks apiece. And one of the biggest things for us, which was definitely a contributing factor to us winning, was the turnovers. We had a total of 6 turnovers for that game. That's what, 1 point, that's 1.5 a quarter. If we can continue that type of ball movement, because one of you guys mentioned the ball movement was there. The ball movement was there all night, as a matter of fact. And then when Julius got going, you know, it was like, well, what are we going to do? Because he could not be stopped at certain parts of the game. And that was one thing that we also pointed out. We were worried about what we were going to do against what were we going to do defensively against Zion and BI. However, they needed to worry about Randall, which posed a big problem to them. And then probably Burks came out of nowhere to them, because I know they weren't anticipating that dude doing to them what he did down the stretch and running the show. And I noticed also that one of you guys were mentioning Tibbs' substitution patterns. He played Burks alongside with Rose a lot. So with Burks being the major ball handler, so that when Rose got the ball, he could just go. And that's what he did. So I agree with you, H2O, with regard to the first 2 coming off the bench. It should be Rose and Burks. And I agree with you, Papi Santos, that quickly can be brought in depending on situations, because he is one of the best shooters that we have on the team and the best free throw shooter. So therefore, he is going to be and should be that specialist for us. And at the same time, he's still developing into what he will eventually be, whether it be a point guard or a combo guard, whatever that is. He still gets the chance to develop it and get some minutes in doing so. Obi, he's going to get there. Obi's going to get there. I'm not really worried too much about Obi, because I see that he wants it. When he's out on the floor, he's doing different things to keep himself involved in the game, and he's just gonna at some point he's gonna have that breakout game that we're all looking for, and then from there we'll see, you know, how he's going to be utilized. But right now, I will pass the ball real quick, no look, to the prodigy.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys made some good points. You guys made some very good points. You know, our bench was very productive. Quigley has stepped up, hit some big shots for us. Derrick Rose was attacking the rack at will, not trying to do too much. Alec Burks was hitting some big time shots in the 4th quarter. And also, I loved how Phipps kept using the right rotations for the 4th straight game, which is helping us.
Say it again. Say it again.
I love how Phipps is keep using the right rotations to help us win our 4th straight game, which is for the first time all season, 4-4-4, 4 straight. So I loved how that's keep working, and you know, hopefully we keep it going against Dallas tonight, and it's gonna be a tough game tonight. So, but it was a good win in New Orleans, because we snap our little funk on the road a little bit, and you know, and hopefully we can even rise in the standings by this weekend, because I know you cannot control what other teams do. I know that, but at the same time, just a few updates. The Pacers are in Utah today. The Hawks are not playing until Sunday against the Pacers. Then the Hornets are in Brooklyn today, and the Heat are in Minnesota. So just fun facts I want to just give out there. So we got to keep our eyes on those games. So we just got to handle our business. We got to take one game at a time, and we just got to show trust like we've been doing the past 4 games and virtually all season, though. And that's what I like from this Knicks team. This Knicks team has no quit. This team has grit, toughness, and this team has shown heart, and that's what I love. Previous Knicks teams have not shown this heart. This Knicks team is showing passion, and I want to throw this out there. If the Knicks win tonight, we get our first 5-game win streak. It'll be our first 5-game win streak or more since 2014, when we had 8 straight wins. Even though we did not make the playoffs that year in 2014, we still won 8 games in a row, If the Knicks win tonight, it'll be 5 games in a row. And another fun fact: we have won 3 straight games in Dallas.
That's a good fact.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a bounce pass to my man Santana.
Okay, this time I'm gonna go up and under. I'm gonna lay it
Mm-hmm.
up with my left hand because
Go ahead.
I could lay it up either way, right-handed
Mm-hmm.
or left-handed. I
You mean
got
like
skills
RJ
like that.
Barrett?
Mm-hmm.
Like RJ Barrett?
I don't know about Barry, bro. I just know about me, man. So anyway, yeah, talking about transitioning into tonight's game against Dallas. I think the key matchups, of course, obviously is Porzingis. I mean, I don't think he's going to be that much of a threat in the low post in terms of
True.
rebounding because
True.
our guys are pretty disciplined. The key
Mm-hmm.
is we got guys that are fundamentally sound. Taj
Mm-hmm.
Gibson, fundamentally sound. That's why he's so effective. Yes, he's 105 years old, but he's not he's not depending on his age or athleticism to be effective. He's depending on his fundamentals to be effective. And he knows that in order to be effective, he has to do the little things, the boxing out, making sure that he keeps a body on whoever's defending him or trying to score against him. Either way, he knows what he has to do, which is play solid defense. And of course, go out there, get the rebound, and
Right. Right. Right.
every now and then on the offensive end, he has good footwork, man. He can finish in the paint. You know what I'm saying? And he's even stretched his game to the point that he shot a few threes and stuff like that and hit them. So, I expect that he's gonna play a solid game. Now, of course, we got to deal with the young guy over there, Lokic or whatever his name is, Dokic or Luca.
Luka,
And
Luka Doncic.
yeah. But the key with a guy like that, okay, because I remember, and again, I always go back to when I used to coach. Um, and again, I never coached the NBA. I coached junior high school and high school kids. And basically, when you're playing against other teams, you're game planning against other players. Well, there was a one guy that we were facing that he had great vision and he could bring the ball up and he was setting people up. So what did I do? I asked my guys, anybody that was defending that guy, I asked them to do the following. I said, we want to take his vision away from him. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to defend him, but you're going to stunt him. You're going to try and make him think about his dribble. So you don't want to give him this free reign that he's coming up the court and he's not, he doesn't have to worry about the ball being stolen from him. We want him to think twice. When he's dribbling that ball, we don't want his head up here looking at the floor. We want him either worried about protecting the ball or even turning him. And any guy that I brought off the bench, I said, be aggressive and attack the dribble. Why did I say that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted him to give up the rock. I'd rather somebody else try to make that decision as opposed to a guy like Luca. So that's why I'm bringing it back to Luca because that's what I see in this kid. This kid is very good. He gets the ball in his hand. He sees the floor. He sets everybody up. But you don't have to give him this space or just play to his game. What you can do is you attack his dribble, you stunt him, you make him think twice, you turn him, you make him turn his back so that he has to think twice before he does that. An example that I can give you guys, and maybe you guys are too young, but I know H2O remember this, and Bill Stradamus will remember this. In 1990, when the Chicago Bulls played the Los Angeles Lakers. At that time, you had Michael Jordan with the Bulls and you had Magic Johnson with the Lakers. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It was either game one or game two. I don't remember which game it was, but nonetheless, Magic was coming down the court. He had full vision of the court. So he was very effective in passing the ball and getting people in position to do their thing.
That's when Michael was on him.
Yeah, exactly.
He had
That's
Michael on him.
Michael Jordan was defending him. Michael Jordan 6'6", Magic Johnson 6'9", and Michael for whatever reason never attacked the dribble. So
Mm-hmm.
he was just pretty laid back. What happened? Phil Jackson for game two makes an adjustment, and he put Scottie Pippen on Magic Johnson. Scottie Pippen is about 6'8", has long arms, and Scottie picked him up from the baseline. What did that do? That forced Magic Johnson to turn his back. His vision was obstructed. He didn't have full vision of the court as he did when Michael was playing him. Okay? When Scottie got on him, he had to turn his back and bring the ball up and worry about Scottie trying to steal the ball. That changed the whole dynamic of the entire series. So I say that to say that can be done to Luka. Okay, that can be done to Luka. Okay, and that should be done to Luka. We want to put the ball in the hands of somebody else to try to make the decision. They're not going to make as good of a decision as he will. With that being said, I'm just going to stay there. I'm going to drop it off. I'm going to do a nice little pocket pass a la Kyrie Irving to my main man Dream so he could do whatever he want to do with it.
Oh, I'm going to climb that ladder and I'm going to leave my elbow in the rim. So I mean, we already know this comes down to Luka, you know, but it also on our end comes down to Julius. So in his last 3 games, he had the Lakers, who was his old team. He put up the 34 points, right? He had the Pelicans, that was his old team. He put up the 32 points. And tonight, he got Dallas. It's not his old team, but that's his hometown. So hopefully he go home for some little cooking. So, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, last time he had an okay game against them, it was 14, 8, and 11. I mean, he almost hit the triple-double. So, I mean, you know, but that's a low end for him. But he's been on a hot streak and flowing lately. So I hope he continues that. And that'll really help us, you know. As far as the last time we met them, these 3 guys really, really need to step up. They've been doing really good lately, minus Barrett. But you need Rose, Payton, and Barrett really to have solid games because they just didn't show up last time for the most part. And you know, and our whole offense really just didn't show up. But those 3 really have a lot to do with how we get off, you know. You know, Rose ended up with 2, Payton 6, and Barrett 8, and that's just not enough, you know, against, you know, for what they bring. They pretty much came with what we expected. Luka, Porzingis, Hardaway, you know, like throw in Brunson. But outside of that, you know, we held them in check. We just didn't show up on our offensive end. So, you know, that being said, I'll leave some meat on the bone. I'll toss it to my side 2.0. Take it away.
Well, the first thing I want to mention about that last game was that we just either ran out of gas or we ran out of energy. Somehow we just gave up that 4th quarter, basically. And that was the difference in the game. They outscored us 27-17 in that last quarter of that last game. And I can't remember exactly how it went down, you know, whether we were just throwing up, you know, ill-advised 3-pointers or whatever it was. Just to follow up on what Santana was saying, though, I think that we could start the game by putting Bullock on Luka. And yo, that's your job. You don't have to score today. All you have to do is hold that man down to 15 points. 15 to 20 points. That's
Say it again. Say it again, H2O.
All you need to do. You don't have to score today. All you need to do is hold that man down to 15 to 20 points. You know? And then
5 assists. No more than 5 assists.
They made. You know? That's all we need. If everybody does their part, we don't need a monster game from anybody, but it would be nice to see Randall do another triple-double, you know, just because, you know, he feels that way. I remember he was being interviewed by Clyde at the end, and he says, you know, what's going on with you? You know, with all these triple-doubles. You think you could duplicate that again on Friday? He's like, well, let's see what happens. I'm going home. So, yeah, that going home situation, you know, he might play into him, you know, see his family, whatever. But again, and playing where he played, I guess, his high school ball or whatever. Other than that, I think we'll be okay. I would love to see another Quickly sighting, you know. But again, I think those guys, they're pretty solid all-around players, man. They're big, you know. So when we have Quickly in there, it's like 5 against 4, you know, on defense, because he gets caught in those picks, and then you know, he gets eaten up.
True.
The other thing is that they have 3 players, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have Burke, they have Porzinski, KP, and Hardaway Jr.
Tim Hardaway, yeah.
Who will, would love nothing better than to beat the crap out of us. And, for, well, not so much KP. KP won it out, but for being ushered out the door at the end of the season 2 years ago. So I guess they got some kind of a resentment or revenge factor going for them. So we have to be on our A game. Our defense has to be A+, and our offense has to be A. And we'll take this game, maybe ride this thing into a 3 game homestand.
6-game homestand, 6.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry, G Money. I got I missed the fact that yes, and again, let the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm.
So take it away, Bill.
Take it.
Twitter splash.
What? Dame time.
Yeah.
I want to make this very clear. Last time we played them, when was it? Last week or whenever that was?
2 weeks ago.
Remember who came off the bench? It was giving us fever. It was that Baby Brunson.
Jalen Brunson, he was killing us with his
We
drives.
gotta watch that dude tonight. We gotta watch him, almost as much as we gotta watch Luka, because if they're playing together, Luka's playing off the ball a lot of times. So we gotta watch that. But I agree with putting a big body on him, as Santana illustrated. Put that big body on him and pick him up 90 feet if you have to, and make him give up the ball. Don't let him just, come down, and he's already 6'9" or whatever, and he has vision over everyone, and just let him do what he does. We cannot play like that. Now, we may put Bullock or Burks on him, and in those situations, they gotta make it hard for him also. Play him tight, bump him a little bit, try, reach in, try to steal or whatever. Just make it difficult for him. And let him, although he's gotten better shooting from the outside, but I would prefer that than him just willy-nilly freewheeling into the lane and passing or throwing up these floaters and getting and ones. So we have to really watch out for them. KP, we held him in check last time we played him. He I think he scored maybe 14 or something like that, but he didn't really do any real damage. And I expect the same tonight, because he's gonna have his hands full if they think that they're gonna put him on the franchise and that he's gonna be able to shut him down or slow him down. Like one of you guys said, he's in his hometown. He's probably gonna have, at least 10 to 20 of his people there, spread out throughout the arena or whatever, or however they do it. And he's gonna look to show out. He's gonna look to show them, to show his hometown, this is what y'all missing from me. This is what I'm giving to New York. And I don't think they have an answer for him. So we stick to our defense first, defense second, and offense will follow or will come, and I think we'll be in good shape. Now we said all of these same things last time they played us, and we're saying it again. We're gonna go in there, and we're gonna walk out of there with the dub.
Okay.
What's that James Brown record? The Big Payback.
The Big Payback.
That's who we're gonna go. They should come out on the floor singing that, basically. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go look one way, but then I'm gonna go behind my back the other way to the Prodigy.
History, and I'm gonna get a layup out of it. All right, so I love the Knicks. I love this team, but I'm gonna be honest. Luke, I know the Mavericks have now won a home game versus the Knicks since 2017, I think. And Luka and KP have not won a home game against us. It is very possible we can very well win this game. But I'm going to speak with my heart. I don't see it, man. I think the Mavs get this game. I don't see it. Because here's the thing. I have a feeling it's going to come down to the wire. I have a feeling. And here's the thing. Luka Doncic can make big plays in clutch moments, though. You saw what he did against the Clippers last year. And did you see what he did against the Grizzlies with that crazy shot?
Mhm.
That was great. Who's going to be our go-to guy consistently in the fourth quarter if it comes to that? That's the thing. I have a feeling it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a tight game. Even though I would love for the Knicks to pull this out and get our first 5-game win streak in many years, I don't see it, man. Because one, we're not a great road team. Two, the Mavs are all right at home, not great, but all right at home. And three, here's the craziness. We slowed them down offensively at the Garden, but we couldn't score in their defense, I'm sorry. Think about that for a moment. And like I said, if you watch the whole game in the context, we have trouble stopping guards sometimes. In the second half, Doncic in the fourth quarter was starting to attack the basket and three starting to fall after he was bad, after he was struggling the first three quarters. Jalen Brunson was killing us with drives, mid-range shots, and even threes. And I have a feeling KP's going to play better. I mean, in the first half in New York, he was rushing his jumpers and threes and was trying to do too much. In the second half, KP starting to let the game come to him a little bit, though. It's because it's like, I'm sorry, I don't think we win this game tonight because here's the thing. We're not a good road team. And again, are we going to have enough offense to stick to knock off the Mavs? That's the thing. The Mavs are a very good offensive team that like to spread the floor. And don't be surprised if Tim Hardaway has a big game. Because usually every time we play a former Knick, a guy has a big game. I think it will be a very close game because we are a scrappy team. But I'm sorry, man. I don't see it, man. I think our win streak is over after tonight. The good news, I do think we go 5-1 in the homestand, though. So if I have to make a guess, I think we lose a heartbreaker tonight. Because I just think that every time we're in a close game against high level competition, we tend to struggle. And the fact that in the close game, Luka Doncic usually balls out, and also Porzingis may look to have a better game, and also Tim Hardaway. So that just means. So I'll just dish the rock to Santana.
You bring up great points, and of course, like you said, the last time that we played them, it was a tale of two halves. The first
Mm-hmm.
half we did our things.
The
The
ball
second
move is
half
there.
they came back and they did their thing. Now
Mm-hmm.
the other factor was Rick Carlisle wasn't coaching the team. They
Exactly.
had
That's another
an
thing too.
assistant coach. Maybe he had something to do with why their defense was so tight. Again, going into that game, they ranked, I think, in team offensive efficiency and team defensive efficiency between 11 and 13. So they're a solid team. There's no ifs,
Mm-hmm.
ands, or buts about it. The X factor that I'm going to give, and again, I'm going to go with my heart and not my mind, is that every time that we've lost against the team, we've come back and beat them the next time around.
That is true.
And
That's a
so
good point.
the only exception to that was Miami. Miami's the
Yeah.
only team that beat us consecutively the two times that we faced them.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else will split. So I'm hopeful because of the streak that we're in, the fact that they're gonna make adjustments for this particular game. And of course, we can't expect the same output from different players from the Dallas like when they came to the Garden. But still, nonetheless, we are starting to play now playoff, you know, implicated games. So the stakes are higher. And I think, no one is going to take any of these games lightly. Of course, Dallas, they got a record of 30 and 28, I think it is. So they're also
30
in
and
the hunt.
24.
Okay, 30 and 24. So they're also hunting for the playoffs. We want to solidify ourselves from sixth, maybe to fifth. We got room to make
Mm-hmm.
up, in the standings.
We're
So
only a game back of fourth and fifth. So
there
yeah.
you go. There you go. So, I think, we're going to see, and again, this is my heart as opposed to my mind, but I'm going to give and I'm going to start doing the predictions so that way we could go around the horn and do it all before we close out this episode. But I'm gonna select. Okay, the Knicks are gonna score 110 and the Mavs 105.
Mhm.
And with that said, I'm gonna do a nice little, a crossover dribble. Then I'm gonna do a left-handed pass. No, I'm gonna do a right-handed pass because I got my man. Wait, left-handed pass. Yeah, left to my man Dreams right, so he could
Don't
do
matter.
his thing.
I'm good with both hands. I catch it from any direction. Don't worry. And I got a bully ball around the basket for a little swift layup, little a la Zion yesterday. Or the
Do
day
your
before.
thing, brother. Do
That's
your
it.
thing.
So,
Mhm.
yes, Luka is a good bad shot maker, right? But he's not consistently good from just regular shots around the 3-point line,
True.
especially the last couple weeks or month, I would say.
True.
Right?
He's not a great 3-point shooter. That's true.
So it's always been, the last time we played, I said the same thing. Just let him roam around out there and don't let him get inside around the free throw line because that's where I feel he does a shitload of damage. Sorry. But, that's where he gets his bread and butter from. And then once he gets loose, he starts to move his way further and further out. He will shoot one of those, deep threes on you from time to time. Because like I said, sometimes that's just a bad shot until it drops and it's like, oh, wow, okay, he has range, But that being said, if he didn't make that last shot, that game winner against the Grizz, they would have lost 4 out of the last 5 games. So they are
True.
by no means.
So Grayson Allen, don't forget, Grayson Allen missed 2 free throws too. They even led to that.
Yeah, so
if he makes the free throws, it's over.
They snatched that win out of that loss, and that's good for them. But they're not on a hot streak by any means. Like they won 7 out of the last 10 games, but they literally lost a bunch in a row. So we catching teams at a good time, and you know what? This is where streaks come to die. And then why? All right. So, Grizz came in with a 4-game winning streak. They were dumb hot against the best teams. Boom, slapped them out. So, and it tends to happen. New Orleans, same thing, right? I think it was. Or even the Lakers came in winning against Brooklyn real strong. We've been putting a stop to all that. So we just got to represent, defensive rotation is going to be the key. Because unlike some of these other teams, Dallas is definitely one of the highest 3-point shot taking in the league, right? For percentage, not even percentage wise, but just attempts in general. So when they get inside, they're always looking to toss it back out if they don't have a clean shot at the basket from the inside. So we just need to watch that. We have been better, and ever since that Dallas game, our defense have definitely taken a step up, right? So has our offense on both ends. So I'm going to toss that out, and I'm going to use the last couple of games as far as the plus minus goes because it's been 10. Plus minus over the year, it's been 5. So basically, I'm going to throw up, Dallas is 111 regardless, and the Knicks is 105. I'm going to use that plus minus. I'm going to split it again because that's what I did in the last game. So I'll use 7, and because 5 early in the year, 10 on the streak. But I'll use 7, and so that brings the Knicks to 112 and Dallas down to 104. So that's my score. Knicks 112, Dallas 104. And I'll toss it to 2.0.
All right, thanks a lot. I have to step out. I got some guys doing some work over here.
Ooh.
But I just wanna point out a couple of things about that last game, and one of them was that we shot 12 for 37, 12 for 38, and they shot 12 for 37. So as far as the 3-point differential, we were about the same there, and we were 100% from the free throw line. But what hurt us the most about that particular game? Oh, I'm sorry, I came back to the wrong place. Let's go back.
Fourth quarter.
Well, it was that the Killer Bees did not show up. Okay, that's what happened mostly. Let me go back to that game.
Actually, Burks was the only one that showed up.
We had Barrett, Peyton, and Rose. They were anemic. I don't know what happened to them. Had they had a couple of points here and there, the score might have been totally different. And I expect more from them in this game. And that's going to make the difference. It's going to be our average, 108, 102.
108, 102?
108, 102. Did I stutter?
No, sir.
Yeah, but who's winning?
I'm going with my heart.
Okay.
Okay. Knicks 108, 102.
All right.
Go ahead, Bill.
All right. What I'm gonna do, I'm expecting a bigger turnaround because, as you stated, H2O, the Killer Bees didn't really show up, although Burks was the only one that showed up.
Mhm.
However, Randall, I mean, he had only a decent game. He had 14, 11, and 8. So that's not. I'm expecting much more from him tonight. And then I just read something, made a crazy observation that Dallas is 30-24. However, they're 13-12 at home.
True.
So they're a better road team than they are a home team, which lends to us being able to walk in there and take one away from them. And now, the score that they beat us last time, it was 99-86. They won by 13. I'm going to give them their 99.
Okay.
They're going to score 99 again. However, we're going to score 1-0. 109. We're gonna give them a double digit beatdown at home. 109-99. That being said, I'm gonna pass it over to the Prodigy, who will more than likely be the only one picking the Mavs.
I'm a true Knicks fan, but I gotta be honest. Watching this game, I gotta be honest.
We got you.
All right.
It's all good.
We've all done it too. We've done it.
Yeah.
True. It's going to be a close game. It'll be a down-to-the-wire game on ESPN. But I'm sorry. Luka, KP, Tim Hardaway. I don't see it, man. It's possible we can very well pull this off. I think Mavs 108, Knicks 105. Because here's why. The Mavericks like getting to transition a little bit. We gotta try to limit that. Also, like you guys said, the Killer Bees, other than Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson killed us last meeting. Trey Burke did not have a great game. I'm a true Knicks fan, but I've seen this before time again. Some random player has a big game. I would not be surprised if it's Tim Hardaway. I would not be surprised. I won't be surprised. I have a feeling he's going to have a good game tonight, though. And also, Phibbs is a good coach. Is he going to continue to make the right rotations? Is he going to continue to make those right rotations that we've been seeing? That's what I have to see. And like I said, Porzingis in the first half in New York was shooting a lot of threes and wasn't getting himself in rhythm. Then the second half, he's starting to get himself in rhythm, started scoring the paint a little bit. He's starting to get himself in a rhythm. And Luka Doncic, we slowed him down the first three quarters because we're doubling him, we're being physical. But in the fourth quarter, he's starting to become more comfortable attacking the rack, and his three bones starting to fall a little bit in the fourth quarter. If the game, to me, the only way the Knicks could win this game is by at least double digits. I don't think they can win a close game against these guys. I'm sorry. The Mavericks have a go-to guy in Luka Doncic, and you have a guy like a Tim Hardaway who can get hot, or you have Kristaps Porzingis that can take over the game on both sides of the ball himself. I'm sorry, Alex. I'm sorry, man. I think RJ has a better game this time. I think Julius Randle plays better this time compared to the game he had against Dallas in New York. But knowing our road woes, and like I said, the Mavericks have not beaten the Knicks at home since 2017. They lost 3 in a row. I think that streak is over. I'm sorry. I think a 4-game win streak is done.
Okay.
We could win tonight. I'm not saying we don't have a chance. We have a great chance. But I got to listen to my heart. I got to go Mavs 108, Knicks 105.
All right. With that being said, we're going to close out the show like we always do every time we close out the show. Once a Knick, always a Knick. All right, fellas, we'll pick it up during the game. We'll chat it up on WhatsApp.
And you get my phone number on the private chat.
Yes.
I gave it to you. So you're already in. I already put you in the chat.
Thanks.
All right, just open up your WhatsApp app, and then you'll see it.
It's Nick Dreams.
Nick Dreams.
Nick Dreams thinking. Right.
All right, fellas. Enjoy your day.
Enjoy it.